I know this video is very delayed, like a month and a half, but better late than never. I've actually had this video made for a while though. I just needed to film this intro part because as the title told you, this video will be all about my month of July. And I know I shared on my Instagram story that it was the busiest month of my life. And I was not kidding. So what I decided to do was write down my full schedule from that month and share it with you all. And then as I'm talking, I will go ahead and put, different clips and stuff from these things so you can see what I'm talking about. Okay, so jumping right into it, on July 1st, I flew to Orlando and got my hair done. And I'm gonna be honest with you guys, this is definitely not the color I wanted. I wanted like a honey caramel color, but this is what I got, and I'll get up close and show you. Hi! Hopefully you can see it's like a brown color with red undertones. But, sorry, I'm already out of breath. When I went to the hair salon and I showed the hairstylist my inspo pictures, she said, look, I can give you this color, but it will require bleach, which will require a lot of upkeep for you, so on and so forth. And she said, that's one option, or what I can do is a process called toning. So just to clarify, bleach lifts color from your hair and toning deposits color onto your hair. But she said she couldn't guarantee what, what color would come out because everyone's undertones are different. And ultimately, I did choose the toning because I've had bleach in my hair in the past and it just really dried the heck out of my hair, as it does for everyone's. But I didn't really want to go through that again. So I decided in that moment to choose the toning. So there's no one to blame for me not being happy with the color. But I was at the salon for 7 hours. When I got back and I looked in the mirror, I'm not gonna lie, I started bawling my eyes out, which sounds so dramatic, but I did spend a lot of money, time and energy. And when you have this vision in your head of what you want something to look like and it doesn't turn out that way, obviously it's upsetting. And I'm not even someone that cries often ever, like it's very rare that I'm upset. Although I did cry a lot when I moved into this apartment, which I can share that story if you want to know, let me know. It was an awful experience, horrible. But anyways, so yeah, I cried when I saw it when I got home. Not that I didn't see it at the salon, but when you're finally home and you're in your own space and you have time to really like take it all in, I was just not happy. To be fair, my hair was like an orangey red color when I first got home. Thankfully, it settled. And, I could go ahead and get it toned again, which would further lighten it, which I might do like further down the road, but I kind of just feel like it was a sign from the universe to stop messing with my hair in general, because I do want it to grow. So that's my focus right now. And it has grown on me. I think it brings out my freckles and my brown eyes a little bit. So yeah, I'm not as upset as I was. But anyways, moving on. So yeah, that was only the first day of July. On the second, I had training for the Shein pop-up here. I was one of the managers for that, and it was actually opened from the 7th to the 11th. It was crazy. So many angry women. So what happened was Shein did like a ticketing system where you could sign up online. It was free to sign up, and you got an hour time slot in the store. I think they did 4 minutes for the fitting room. But what they did was obviously that, you would line up as it's your time, and then they let people hop at the back of the line that didn't have any tickets, and if there was room, they would let those people in. But obviously, given the times, there are still some COVID rules still in place. So the fire marshal ended up coming, the cops came, and ultimately they had to kick everybody out of line that didn't have tickets. So there were so many arguments, which I get. It was July, which is one of the hottest months here. People were waiting in line for 3 or 4 hours, and then to be told you can't get in, like, I get it. I'd be mad too. And it also rained. There was no shade, so you're just standing there. And ultimately, they were standing there for nothing. People flew in from all over the place. I know one night we closed And as we were like locking up the registers, a woman, like a group of women and their kids were banging on the doors, begging us just to even look at the store because they flew from New York. And I was just like, I mean, I'd never bought anything from Shein before. I didn't realize the mass following they had, which I get it after having experienced the brand. The price point is on point, and for the quality of the clothes, like, it's great, honestly. Definitely ordered since working for them. But you know, they weren't doing any special promotions or anything really, other than if you spent $100, they would give you a little gift bag, but the gift bag wasn't anything special in my opinion. But yeah, like everything in the store is online and you can find promo codes and stuff, which would, you know, the deal is better online, but I get it if you want to just, you know, see things, try them on in person. Anyways, moving on. That was the 7th to the 11th, the 12th to the 14th. I worked at a luxury eyewear showroom, and there I was kind of like a hostess, greeter, just welcoming people to the space. It's rooms filled with different glasses, both prescription and sunglasses, and they're from, you know, luxury brands, Chanel, Burberry, etc. And they are not out yet in stores, so these will be, you know, for the following season. And then boutique retailers come and look and figure out what they want to buy for their stores, or, you know, like larger stores like Nordstrom or whatever. So yeah, that was cool. And then that ended on the 14th. The 15th, I flew home to Pittsburgh, where my family is, because I was asked to manage a group of people for the Pittsburgh Vintage Auto Show, which I loved. I love vintage cars. I like anything vintage, antique, especially antique jewelry. Get that from my mom. I always go like antique shopping with my mom when I'm home. Okay, so that ended on the 18th. Well, that was the 17th and 18th. And on the 19th, I flew back because I had to work another pop-up shop from the 20th to the 22nd. When I signed up for that one, all it said was sneaker pop-up. Then I had the interview and I booked it, and I found out the brand is KIY, Kai. It's a guy, he's Cali-based, so he made these shoes. And in looking at the shoes, they do resemble the Nike Air Force One high top, but Nike has nothing on the colors that Kai uses for his sneakers. His colorways are bomb. So yeah, that was pretty chill. People camped out for that one. They had come to Miami before, but I didn't work that one, but I was told that it was much crazier, which, you know, makes sense, I guess. People go to the first one, they're not as inclined to go to the second one, but people still did camp out overnight.
You've been waiting out here
since, I'm gonna say, 1 o'clock yesterday.
We've been out here since 10:30 yesterday.
I've been waiting here since like 12:30 last night. I'm from Chicago.
Georgia. Heard about it, I had to get out here. I got out here on the line 4:30 in the morning. DC, Connecticut.
Hey, I drove all the way down this jump from Carolina, and I flew to LA.
It was a much calmer crowd than the Shein crowd. And the sneakers sold for $300 a pop. They sell for so much more online, sometimes double. And yeah, it was really cool. I'm glad to be aware of that brand now, and I got some cool t-shirts. That's the 22nd. Okay, then the 23rd to the 25th, I worked Rolling Loud. I feel like my voice is going like this. Sorry about it. Anyways, so Rolling Loud, it's a music festival if you don't know. I had never been to it. I worked it, and I put that in quotations because I didn't really do that much work. I worked it with my girl Christy, who I was with like basically the entire month of July. Shout out Christy. We were like supposed to kind of like cheer people on at a basketball court, but it rained so much that they shut it down for a majority of the festival. So we were just kind of roaming around, and you know, with a staff badge, you get to go certain places that you can't go with, you know, a VIP or GA band. But we ended up hanging out in like the VIP lounge area for most of the time. So I had a ball. was so many people, and I didn't even realize until the second day that I didn't even see half of the festival. Like, there was a whole nother section. It was insane. So many people. And it was so hot, like, oh. And this is like one of the reasons why I would rather work things like this, because I'm getting paid to be there. That was another thing. I was like, I didn't think anybody would even play basketball because it was just so hot, but leave it to guys to start fighting on the court. Okay, so that was the 23rd, 25th. The 27th, I had a flight home to Pittsburgh again, so I had the 26th in between. And I told myself, girl, you need a day off, relax, you know, clean your apartment, get groceries, whatever, be a real human being. But then my friend Christy texted me, is like, do you want to go to Diddy's pool party? And I said yes, obviously. But only because I had been there a couple years ago before I ever lived here. And I went to Diddy's house, and it was a pool. It wasn't a pool party, just like a regular house party. But that night like broke records here. I think it was like 30, high 30s, low 40s. So, and all I had was like little booty shorts and tiny little like bralettes. So when I went there, I was like shivering like this. Like I was like basically having convulsions, and I don't think I stayed more than an hour. I physically just like could not be there, because unless you're like really gang, you're not going in the house. His stuff is always outside of the house. So yeah, because of that, I always promised myself if I got the opportunity to go back, I would, and that's why I could not say no. So this time around, it was a pool party. It was kind of funny. Like, they turned away a lot of the guys outside because they weren't in swim trunks, which I don't know, I just thought was funny. For the girls, they had bathing suits inside if you needed one. This is dope. Hi. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you. Come cooking dope at the same damn time. What you drinking over there, man? It's on the ocean, by the way.
Trust me. Let's go. But right now, let's get warmed up. Let's get lit.
I'm from Florida.
But yeah, it was cool. There were obviously some notable, recognizable faces there, but I don't really care to name drop on that. I think I name dropped enough by saying it was Diddy's pool party. Okay, so that was 26th, 27th, as I said. My poor camera overheated. But yeah, so picking up there, 26th, the 27th, I had my flight home again back to Pittsburgh, because on the 28th and 29th I had my first big hand modeling shoot with Nestle. I had done a hand modeling shoot once before. This was years ago when I still lived in New York. It was for Snoop Dogg's gin. I think it's Tonqueray. I might be pronouncing that wrong. But ever since then, I've always had people kind of like comment on my hands and my nail beds, which I never really thought anything of. But one of my friends in New York, he does hand modeling regularly, and he talked to me about it, and I was like, I guess I should just try to do it. And then I ended up booking that shoot. It was 2 days for a product called Maggie. It's like a seasoning. So yeah, also, speaking of hand modeling, I got this henna on Saturday. it was free. I was like geeky. I was like, why not? But I've been trying to get it off ever since. I had to actually turn down a hand photo hand. I keep trying to avoid saying like hand shoot because of this. I'm like, ugh. Like, rule number 1 of being a hand model: don't mess with your hands. Anyways, moving on. 28, 29 Nestle. The 30th, I did a shoot with Joanne Fabrics. It was for a Halloween ad, which obviously will be out next month. And then on the 31st, I had a flight back here. And y'all thought I was finished, but actually I have something to share. So on top of all of these things, hello. So tonight I'm working at a nightclub in South Beach. Somebody from the same club texted me and asked if I wanted to be a bottle runner. It is not a bottle girl, just so you know. I'm just the person that's like in a parade of girls, like holding up sparklers or bottles, whatever the heck. So yeah, I'm honestly really excited to just see what it's all about. Because I've been to a lot of clubs, but I've never worked in one, so I'm kind of excited to go behind the scenes. I was working at that club in South Beach. So at this point, I think I've been working there a month and a half, maybe even 2 months. I don't even know anymore. But this past Saturday, it is September 15th. Wow, I just realized that you can see all the crap on my table. But yeah, so this past Saturday, I got into a little spat with the guy that manages us, which I can talk about that another time if you'd want to hear it. I think I've talked enough at this point. But, so yeah, I walked out on Saturday and I had planned to like quit working there at the end of this month, because I'd never wanted to work in nightlife for an extended period of time. I took it just because it was nice, you know, nice little extra side money. It was cash in hand every night. But when you're working those late hours and you're waking up at like 2, 3 p.m., it's just not what I want for myself. I'm someone that prefers to wake up at like 9 a.m. and go to the gym and start my day. But, you know, when you don't have energy to do that, at that point I'm not doing the things that I set out to do for myself. So I took it as, you know, another sign from the universe to exit quicker than I thought I was going to. But yeah, that about sums it up. Let me know if you have any questions. I definitely owe you guys more videos, so stay tuned for more.